Hello, this is John Felt. Welcome to the Merschman Seeds NCGA Ag Weather Outlook Briefing for October 21st, 2017. Well, over the last week, you can see where the heaviest precipitation was along the parts of northern Illinois, across Chicago, into parts of southern Michigan. Pretty soaking rain in those areas. Look at right around Chicago, that stripe of as much as 5 inches of rain. So very wet conditions in that area. Elsewhere, not quite as wet, look like very light amounts of precipitation over the eastern Corn Belt and scattered areas elsewhere. Now, over the last week, it was definitely on the warm side. It's very pleasant fall weather with warm days and generally pleasantly cool nights. Temperatures generally between 2 degrees above normal and as much as 5 degrees in a few spots. Warmest spots were those areas in red. Now, I'm not going to be talking too much about warm weather because there's definitely a change coming up that's going to last through the rest of the month and even into November. So over the last week, we did have an increase in soil moisture in spots here. That's in green. So we've really seen that middle part of the nation increasing in soil moisture with some wet conditions. But the big story is going to be this trough of low pressure, this digging trough right in this region right here, that's going to be dipping down, intensifying. This ridge is going to build, this is going to dip, and that's going to bring cooler weather into the area very early in the week. We're going to average the next 5 days probably near to a little bit above normal, but that's going to be misleading because as that cold air pushes in, we're then going to go to well below normal. Now with this front, and this gives you some idea, on Sunday it's going to be pushing through the middle part of the Corn Belt on Sunday, and then late Sunday into Monday the eastern Corn Belt. But that is going to bring a good shot of rain over the central and eastern Corn Belt. In some cases 2 to 4 inches of rain over parts of Indiana and Michigan. So it's going to be a pretty wet, soggy day as we round out this weekend into early next week. But once that's through, I think we're going to be in a much drier pattern that's going to last for maybe quite some time. But I think the big story is going to be this deepening trough over the middle part of the nation. This is pretty impressive for this time of year. And because of that, as you know, we're going to have some really cool weather. And this is going to be temperatures 5 to 10 degrees, maybe even more than that, below normal in the 6 to 10 day period. That's going to bring us right up towards Halloween. You can see it covers most of the Corn Belt, but particularly the west and central areas. Give you some idea, this is next weekend, next Saturday, not this weekend, next weekend. We're looking at temperatures below 32 degrees over a good part of the Corn Belt, the central and northern Corn Belt, Iowa, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe even down into Kansas and Missouri and northern Illinois. So this is definitely a cool air mass, the first really freezing air mass of the season. Then as we get into a little bit further out into early November, that trough is not as deep. It begins to push off to the east, but you can see the lingering cool air. So we're looking at right through the end of the month of October, probably into the first week of November, below normal temperatures. So quite a change. Precipitation, here's week 1. The only precipitation probably of significance in the next 2 weeks will be with this cold front. Then as we get into week 2, you can see dry conditions push in, dry, stable, cool air. So want to keep you alert. Freezing temperatures are ahead for parts of the Corn Belt. A really big change in temperature with below normal temperatures starting this weekend or early in the next week, and then continuing right through the end of the month, probably into early November. So I hope I give you a heads up there. I know we still are in the middle of harvest season, but it does look like colder temperatures are ahead. Take care.